Oh, yeah, final thoughts for this episode of The Changeup. The final off season, the long winter has ended.
I am very glad that the long winter has ended. Now let's see how these rules are going to have any effect on mid-season
Yeah.
competition. Because and Johnny Cueto, I want to see what Johnny Cueto's going to do.
I feel like he's gonna like start his windup as as the batter is like getting himself set. He gives himself 15 seconds to do his stall and his kind of weird thing. But I think it was one of the Astros pitchers. It was either Valdez and his other or Garcia. He had to also change his kind of weird kind of quick pitch, and he does the two or three pumps, blah blah blah. Yeah, there's going to definitely be some adjustments going on. But my final thoughts, look, I as much as I want to just sit there and gush about the WBC, the frustrating part for me is to hear all these quote unquote, baseball experts and pundits just kind of boo hoo the WBC because some players got hurt. Look, just earlier today, Reese Hoskins, I don't know about for sure, but it looked like an ACL or an MCL or something bad. And that was in a spring training game that had zero to do with that. We, of course, saw Gavin Lux blow his ACL out in the middle of a spring training game. Injuries happen. Joe Musgrove broke a toe lifting weights. Okay, injuries happen. And oh, Edwin Diaz, it ruined the Mets season. If you're a Mets team and you spent all that money and you're relying on a closer to be the reason you win a World Series, you probably weren't going to win a World Series in the first place. Guys like Keith Olbermann and these old, Chris Mad Dog Russo, who I don't know how he gets any screen time. Well, it's ESPN, so that's how you know. But it's a joke to me that these people are bah humbugging the WBC. I thought it was the best 2 weeks of baseball I've ever seen. And I understand it's hard for Major League Baseball to kind of replicate that a 2 week tournament as opposed to a 6 month marathon that is the season. But I think it really just shows while Uncle Rob was dislocating his shoulder, patting himself on the back for the WBC, I think it was actually showed this is what baseball should be like, and now we're going to kind of go back to a subpar product in Major League Baseball because he continues to want to put his fingerprints on there. Once again, we're seeing that bat boys and girls are going to be on the clock as well. Really, we're now blaming children, bat boys and girls, for the reason baseball games take too long. It just blows my mind. I think Major League Baseball really needs to take a look in the mirror after what we saw from a fantastic WBC. But I'll put my soapbox away. And thank you all so much for listening to this episode of The Changeup presented by the First Off the Bench podcast network. Everyone comes off the bench. We are first. It's time for y'all to go wash your hands and stop hating everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next week for opening day. Take care.